Rogan.
What's
Joe
up?
Rogan
What's up?
sitting in
What's up?
today.
What's up?
What's happening, man?
I'm sorry I'm late, but I had a... What's up, dude?
Cool.
I wrote a tirade about Carlos Mencia on my website this morning.
I
stayed up all night. I stayed up all night. I got to my hotel room at like, I don't know, like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, let me just like sleep for like an hour. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta write this. So I sat down at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I had a Red Bull. This was like number 3.
You wrote that this morning?
Pot lollipop.
Wait, what is that lollipop?
It's a pot lollipop.
Pot lollipop. Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding.
What does it get you fucked up?
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, dude, if you don't smoke pot, this will put you on fucking Pluto. You'll be like pinned to Pluto, spinning around in space.
This is going to be the best show of the week. It is 7:17, and I am guaranteeing this is the best radio show of the week.
This is why I stayed up.
Right,
I got an email the other day from this guy in Tucson.
Shows up with a Red Bull and a pot lollipop.
Yeah.
Fuck it, bitch.
I guess
how you got to roll.
Clear the phone lines. Joe Rogan's got some shit to get off his...
All right, so this is what happened.
Go
I
ahead.
get this email the other day from this guy who's a radio DJ in Tucson.
Ouch.
Who says that Carlos Mencia was talking shit about me on the radio. Do I want to listen to it? I say, okay. So he sends me the audio file. And it's Carlos basically saying that he came to the Comedy Store and that he went on after me and that everyone in the Comedy Store calls him the Punisher. Like, he's completely out of his fucking mind. And that the only reason why everybody says he steals jokes is because they're jealous. Which is insane, because have you ever heard anybody saying that Chris Rock steals jokes or Dave Chappelle steals jokes? No, but they're more jealous of Carlos Mencia than Chris Rock. All right, here's the problem with this guy. He lives in such a shallow glass house. Carlos Mencia claims to be Mexican. His name isn't even really Carlos Mencia. That's a fake name. His real ethnicity is he's half German and half Honduran. And his real name is Ned Holness. This is real.
Wow.
This is all real. Mitzi Shore
didn't know that.
invented the name Carlos Mencia to ingratiate him with the Latino community of Los Angeles. So this fucking
His
retard...
name is Ned?
Yeah, his name is Ned. Yeah. He's got a fake name. I mean, this guy's so fucking stupid. His whole reasoning for why people call him a thief is that they're jealous. They're jealous of him. This fake fucking Mexican living this fake life, stealing people's material. All right, so what he says is basically that...
I got the audio, by the way, if you want to go through it.
What, him on stage?
Yeah, no.
Oh, of the show?
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You want to do that, or what? It's short
We
clips.
can. Sure, we can go on. But what's even better is what I did is I put the audio on my website, and I hired a personal cameraman. So my cameraman happened to be there the day Carlos claims that I was watching him from the stage, and instead what we have is me on stage and him watching me, pacing around the room, watching me. The guy imitates everyone, including me, all the time. He steals from everyone, whether it's George Lopez or Paul Mooney or old Richard Pryor albums. The guy's a fucking idiot, and all he does is rehash other people's shit or rewrite other people's shit. You know, you do a joke about going to the fucking zoo, whatever it is, and if it kills, he'll do a joke about going to the zoo and just rewrite your shit. He's a weak-minded fucking simpleton, and he doesn't know that people know he's a weak-minded simpleton.
Wouldn't it be great to be able to like hear this shit and then go like, fucking Rogan, I'm gonna kick his ass. But Rogan's such a fucking animal. You can't kick his ass.
Well, I mean, why would you want to kick my ass? Because I'm telling the truth? That's the crazy thing. I'm not running around saying that great comedians are shitheads. I love comedy, and that's the whole point. The thing that I wrote on my website, joerogan.net, the whole thing I wrote this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning with no sleep, is that I'm a huge fan of comedy. To this day, still am, always will be. You know, if I'm at the Comedy Store and Chris Rock shows up, dude, I'm the first person who wants to sit down. I want to watch great comedy. I love it. I love somebody who's got a unique point of view. I love somebody who comes up with some new shit that they crafted. I know this guy sat down on his computer and wrote this all out and tried it on stage in 15 different comedy clubs, and then boom, there it is. You're like, whoa! Like, I remember when Rock was at the Comedy Store and he was working out his Oscar shit. Dude, like me and like 10 other guys sat in the back of the room, fucking howling, loving it. Love comedy. Hate fucking thieves! That's all it is! I hate fucking thieves! Does it fucking infuriate you?
I know the kind. I don't know Ned.
Just call him the phony Mexican or Carlos Mencia. That's what we call him.
What he's talking about, like, the most brutal thief isn't the guy who just takes your whole joke. it's almost like Mad Libs. Like they'll just like say he's saying you go to the zoo and you got a bit about a gorilla. He makes it an orangutan. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. He was taking
Dane
a
Cook
shit.
did that to
he was
me.
taking a dump.
Dane
blah,
Cook
blah, blah.
did that to me. He did it on Premium Blend. He did my joke about fucking tigers. He did it with rhinos. Genius. Fucking genius. You know, there's so much of that shit going on. It's fucking insane.
It happens in radio all the time, too.
Of course it does.
But the new thing in radio is like, everyone steals from everyone, so it's okay.
Fuck that it is. You know, I love when you guys do something, you credit people. That's the way to do it. And that other douchebag that was, you know, doing your shit on Channel 152 that you guys were torturing for a few days.
Jim Phillips?
Yeah, that
How
fucking
good.
idiot. That was awesome.
That was fun, wasn't
beautiful.
it?
That was one of the last shows I listened to before I got a new car, and I have to get XM in my new car.
Joe, you ever have somebody come up to you, right? You just did your set, you killed, some bitch just killed, and somebody comes up to you and is like, yeah, you know, I used to do some shit like that.
And you know they're lying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used to do a bit like that, but it's a little different. You don't have to worry about it. You can still do it. You can still do it.
Thank you.
Oh,
They give you permission to do your own.
weak-minded cocksucker.
You know what the best one I ever got? I had a guy actually say, you know what? I was thinking of doing some shit like that.
That's funny.
It's just like, after I said it?
And then, coincidentally, they bring back their old material that they never did in the first place because they now set it up by saying that they used to do that material.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And what's really brutal is comedy clubs don't do anything about it, man. I mean, it's just the most frustrating thing in the world for a comic to know that your art, what you do, what you put out, is supporting this club, keeping it together. But these people like fucking cannibals, and they hire these scumbags, these fucking thieves, these just fucking simpleton cocksuckers who can't come up with anything. These weak-minded motherfuckers who just rehash your shit. And these comedy clubs hire them, and they expect you to all work it out. They expect. I've actually heard that argument. Hey, you guys got to work that out with yourself. You fucking know he's a thief. You fucking know. No one calls someone a thief that's not a thief. There's not one person I've ever heard called a thief that's not a thief. Have you? Have you ever heard one person called a thief that's not a thief? It doesn't exist. There's thieves and there's regular comedians, but those thieves, they fucking make it through. They sneak through the net somehow or another because the comics don't do anything about it, because the club owners don't do anything about it. These motherfuckers, they swim upstream and they make it.
Yeah.
And they have millions of dollars and they're driving fucking fancy cars, and everybody goes, well, you're just fucking jealous. And you're just sitting there going, holy shit. Holy shit. Is this for real? Is this for real?
I guess in comedy it's just completely accepted.
It's not. These people are fucking pussies. They're afraid. They're afraid of conflict. They're afraid of standing up.
It's less accepted in comedy than radio, definitely, because these guys are always bitching behind the scenes.
Yeah, but they're bitching behind the scenes. But then, like you said, the comedy clubs don't do it.
Well,
the comedy clubs, the comic is probably the last priority in the comedy club. Like, it's just get someone in there that's going to make these people fucking pay.
Right.
And that's pretty much their priority.
Oh, yeah.
They don't care about the comics or the fucking, like, they're supposed to be some kind of ethics or some kind of, you know, you guys are supposed to work things out.
Yeah, we're supposed to
How many
work
asses
it out.
are in the seats? How many asses are you putting in those seats?
That's it. How many asses are in the
Well, let's
seats?
play this audio because now everyone is very interested
sure.
in what Carlos Mencia had to say.
And you can go to
on
my
the Frank
website.
Show.
It's all up, along with the video that my cameraman got of Carlos watching me in the back of the room, all that shit.
And if you ask nicely, he'll tell you how to get the pot lollipops.
You got to get a prescription.
A prescription?
Yeah, I have a prescription
Are
for
you
medical marijuana.
shitting me? They are prescription
I went
lollipops.
to a doctor. I said I have headaches. He said, when do you have headaches? I said, whenever I think about the fact that pot's illegal. And they just fucking write you out a piece of paper, and you go to a cannabis club, and you can buy weed. And
a cannabis club?
Dude, I have pot soda. I have pot lollipops. If you just were locked in my house, you could get high for 6 months. You would never have to leave.
I've never seen those at a pharmacy, though.
No, they don't exist at pharmacies.
How do you get a prescription? Will you take a prescription to a dealer?
All right, should we play the audio?
Sure.
Let's expose this motherfucker.
Well, I want to hear what this is all about. Carlos Mencia on the Frank Show in Arizona there.
So what were you going to ask me that you got interested in?
We were talking about your website, and you said there's like hate mail and stuff on there.
Oh, I get great hate mail.
What? What's it about? In regards to what?
Great hate mail. Well, I got a flood recently because somebody went on Joe Rogan's website and asked him about me, and then he said that the Force was weak with me, basically saying that I'm not, all that.
What does that mean? The Force?
The Star Wars.
Yeah.
The Force is weak with him.
What is he trying to say?
Whatever. That I suck. And so then he put a link to my website, so a bunch of his fans came on the website and like just put a bunch of hate mail on there. And I had to school him because I've been doing comedy longer than him.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If anybody took anybody's style, it wouldn't be me, him. It would be him, me.
Right.
Because I was the one with HBO specials in 1994. Right. Nobody knew who Joe Rogan was in 94.
I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, and Loco Slam in 93. Nobody knew who he was. And Comedy Compadres in 92.
By the way, pause it real
quick.
Totally different style back then than he has now, by the way.
Yeah.
Totally different style. Different. Much more the Latino angle, much different, much influenced now by a bunch of other people, including me. All right, go ahead.
And Comedy Compadres in 92, and Star Search in 91.
Star Search!
Star Search champion in 91. Thank you very much. Yes.
4 stars from the judges?
So I'm just saying, hey, I won. That's all that matters, Whitey. Why you gotta bring a beaner down, dude? Why you gotta bring me? Did you get 3.5 stars? Hey, I got the championship, bitch. How about that? Why gotta technicalities?
You know, even if no one showed up, he still won.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
That's the first clip.
That's the first clip.
Comment?
Okay. Well, you know, whatever. That's you won Star Search. Holy shit! Didn't Sinbad win Star Search too? Does that really fucking mean anything? You know, here's the point. He's trying to justify what everybody knows. That he's a thief and that he's a hack, and you know he's upset at me. I didn't put the link on his site. A bunch of people found his show to be very derivative, and they were on my message board, and they were talking about how much he sounds like me. And they asked me about him. I didn't want to deal with it. You know, what do you think about Carlos? Blah, blah. I just wrote, the force is weak with him. I'm being fucking nice. That's all I was doing. I was being nice. By saying the force is weak with him, that is nice compared to what this guy really is. He's a fucking thief. That's all it is. All right, so I'm just trying to avoid some bullshit. I don't want to deal with it, man. You know, whatever. I'm in the middle of 50,000 fucking things. I write that. I type that out. What's that? And then apparently that was it. Well, I fucking heard enough. So he goes on this show. This guy's living in the thinnest walled glass house in the history of the fucking comedy world. Ever. I mean, these guys got fake fucking name, a fake ethnicity, and he's a joke thief. There's nothing genuine about him. And yet this dumb motherfucker thinks he's going to get on the air in Tucson, and I'm not going to hear about it. But thank God this guy, Frank, emails me and sends me this. Kudos to that guy. That guy, that's a fucking nice move.
All right, let's go to the next clip here.
So no, but I'm tired of it, dude, because I've been nice to that guy all the time.
Yeah.
And that dude, you know, what happens is we go to the Comedy Store, right, where I haven't been in years.
Right.
And everybody walks around saying Joe Rogan is the man.
Right.
Right? But they're saying that because they haven't seen me.
Right.
So then I go in there and I show them what can be done, and they walk around and go, oh, my God, everything I heard about Carlos is right. That guy is sick. Nope. I mean, I'll walk into the Comedy Store, dude, after legends walk in there.
Right.
At like 1 o'clock in the morning in front of 12 drunk people.
Sure.
And I'll get a standing ovation.
Right.
Because I love that place. I mean, it just, dude, it's just, oh.
Yeah.
And then all the comics walk. That's where I got the nickname The Punisher.
Right.
I got the nickname The Punisher because who was in there? Oh, yeah.
Let me make this up real quick. Oh, yeah. First of all, nobody calls that guy the Punisher. They call him the phony Mexican, or they call him Carlos Mencia. That's all anybody calls him. If you go to the Comedy Store, that's what you hear. Oh, dude, the phony Mexican's here. Or Carlos Mencia's here. And what happens? Everybody gets nervous because Carlos sits in the back of the room with a fucking tape recorder and watches people's sets.
I had never heard of the Punisher.
Oh, yeah. Chris Rock was on stage.
All right.
And I was with some buddies, and they were like, man, Chris Rock is unbelievable.
They're all like creaming their pants over Chris Rock.
Yeah. And I went, he's great. He's awesome. And I disappeared. And I told the guys, I want to go on after Chris. So I went on after Chris, and I just destroyed the room.
Yeah.
And then from that point on, all the comics are like, that's the guy. That's the guy, man. He's the one. The Punisher right there.
That is so fucking insane. If you knew the atmosphere of the Comedy Store and how much that guy is loathed, this would be hysterical. When he shows up, everybody goes, ooh. That's what everybody goes, this motherfucker. And a few guys, like, they'll open for him on the road every now and then. It's like, hey, Carlos, what's up? You know, they just want that $120 check every now and then. You know, he's thinking how much Raymond Pride fucking noodles they can buy with it. That's it. There's the only people that talk to him.
Oh, man.
Oh, I get he steals other comics' material.
That we've heard a lot.
Yes.
Put these rumors to rest.
Well, we get comics who come in here and have made those comments before.
But they make them because they can't explain why I'm funnier than them.
Right.
So whoever said that?
But is that part of Joe Rogan's shtick with you, though? That because didn't Joe out Dennis Leary on Howard Stern and all that?
Hold on, real quick.
I think that...
First of all, I outed Dennis Leary in Playboy magazine, and then I didn't even bring it up.
We talked about that.
Someone called it up when I was on Howard. Yeah. Someone called in, and they brought it up, and I said, okay, here's what happened. And I always tell everybody that I was a Dennis Leary fan. When I first started out doing comedy in Boston, I remember the first time I saw Leary, I was like, holy shit, this guy's fucking awesome. This guy's really funny. And then I saw Hicks, and I was like, okay, what the fuck's going on? These guys are doing the same shit. And then I talked to all the comics in Boston, all the old school comics, and they all said Leary's a thief. And I was like, whoa. I was like, well, why are they hiring him? Well, that's just the way it goes. I was like, holy shit. Holy shit. And you know what? No one ever wanted to listen to someone who nobody knew who the guy was. You know, when I was on news radio, and if I was running around yelling Dennis Leary's a thief, everybody was like, fuck you, who the fuck are you? You know, and then finally, you know, like, people knew who I was, and they asked me when I did this Playboy magazine interview, you know, what do you hate about comedy? What bothers me? I'll tell you what I hate. I hate fucking joke thieves. Do you want to name joke thieves? I said, fuck it, yeah. These are the people that steal. And I started going off about Dennis Leary, about how much it bothered me, and how much it freaked me out that this guy could just take somebody's ideas and rework them and make a career out of it. It's fucking crazy.
Dennis Leary's first album was so similar to the Bill Hicks stuff. It was
same
scary.
material.
It was scary.
But then you look at Locked and Loaded, the last one that he did after Bill died, and it's a fucking steaming pile of shit. It's awful because that's Dennis's real thoughts. That's his real creative material. That's his real shit.
Leary on Howard Stern and all that. I think that's what happened.
See, those guys want to put me down because they got nothing. They got nothing on me.
Yeah.
They got nothing on me.
So then they just throw that out there.
Here's how I could prove it to you. I mean, to anybody. I don't have the time to steal other people's material if I wanted to.
What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does... I don't have the time to steal material, but what, you have the time to write material, you fucking asshole? What does that even mean? I don't have the time to steal material. That is the most insane defense I've ever heard in my life. I don't have the time to steal material. Whoa! Whoa! But yet you're sitting in the back of the fucking room every time I'm on stage watching me. My whole fucking set. And I got it on videotape, you cocksucker! And it's on JoeRogan.net, and anybody can watch. Anybody can watch you watching me. And me watching you bomb for about 30 seconds and leaving the room.
Get that up there. I want to see this now.
You can watch it. My cameraman made a whole video. Because keep playing. I'll explain the whole thing.
Buddy, I don't have the time to steal other people's material if I wanted to.
Right.
Let's just theoretically say that I wanted to steal other people's material. The past 10 years, I've been doing the road 50 weeks a year.
Right.
50 weeks a year.
So you don't have time.
I couldn't be in two places at the same time. If I wanted to steal your act, I couldn't.
So why guys
pause
like
that for a second. I did a one-man show in Aspen, and this is when I hated this motherfucker, and we had words at the Comedy Store, and he knew I hated him, and yet he came in. While I was standing there waiting to go on stage in Aspen at the Comedy Festival, he came into the room and sat down and watched my entire fucking set. He knew I hated him. He knew that he hated me, and yet he came there and he watched, like he does with everybody. He sits and he watches, and he just cherry picks. Just cherry picks ideas. How can I rework that? How can I fit that into my Beaner material? How can I fit that into this? That's what he does.
I wanted to steal your act. I couldn't.
So why are guys like Joe...
And secondly, they can't do my jokes.
So why are they saying that?
Oh, those jokes are so fucking hard to do. Fuck! Black people, fuck! White people, fuck! What's up, white people? Come on, take a joke! Fuck! Those jokes are so fucking hard to do. You fucking craftsman! You goddamn fucking genius! Would you compare white people to Mexicans? That is insane! How do you do that? How do you rework Paul Mooney's material, take out the word nigger, and put in Mexican? That is fucking genius! Where do you come up with these thoughts? Are you taking DMT? Are you lying in an isolation tank? Are you tripping on mushrooms? Where are you getting this creative burst of fucking genius? Please, tell us, oh Punisher. Please. Tell us. Hey, you fucked up, asshole. You talked about me on the radio. You gave me... It's open season on phony Mexicans, you fucking piece of shit. Sorry, carry on. That's the pot lollipop talking.
How many more Red Bulls are you going to have this morning? That's all I need to know.
I don't need one, dude.
That lollipop's laced with some other shit, too.
Yeah.
The hatred.
The lollipop's almost
gone.
gone.
You know what? This is 10 years of this kind of hate, man.
Right.
I've watched this guy for 10 years do this shit. 10 years steal from everybody, man.
So why are they saying that? Why are they making these
Because
comments?
that's the only way they feel better about themselves. That's the only way they can explain why I do better than them.
Why aren't they saying it about other comics, though? Why you?
Because those other comics aren't that funny.
Oh, Chris Rock. No, that guy's not that funny. That Dave Chappelle guy, that guy fucking sucks. Dave Attell, what the fuck is that guy funny? Come on, Jim Norton. Who the fuck says that guy's funny?
Bill, comment?
I mean,
step up!
I live out here, man.
Step up!
I've never seen the dude.
It's that East Coast, West Coast thing,
dude.
Right?
No, it's one of those things. Everything he's saying, I've heard time and time again. But I heard the same shit. Robin Williams, they always say that shit about him, but it's like I never seen it.
You know what the real problem is?
Yeah, they say Robin Williams is a huge thief.
I'm sure he is. Everybody that I know that have ever seen him back in the day said he was a thief. Steve Pearl, who's a guy who was at the Comedy Store all the time, said Robin stole a bunch of his shit and had to give him checks for it. But you know what? None of Robin's peers ever stepped up. None of Robin's, none of those guys that were like big comics back then ever got on the radio and say, this guy's a piece of shit. No one ever published an article in a magazine. Nobody ever stepped up or wrote a book about it. Nobody ever put an article on their webpage. Nobody ever stopped it. Nobody who had the power to stop it ever stood up because they don't want to distract from their own career. They don't want to, focus on, the possibility they might be jealous of this person. They want to just, do their own shit and just try to hope he doesn't steal from them. Like Jay Leno said, just write faster than they can fucking steal. Write faster. How about kill them and bury them in the fucking woods? Write faster than they can steal?
I'm 5 minutes away from
impossible.
Doing the rest of the show as loud as him.
I'm sorry. Fucking Joe Rogan! Dude,
no, I'm loving the energy. Come
on, let's go! So fucking mad. Because it's happened to me a bunch of times, and you write something, and Bill, you can back me up on this. You know what it's like. You get a bit, and you.
Yes, I do.
Bill Burr doesn't have a network show yet, so.
You come up with an idea, you tweak it, you find the right way to
West
do
Coast,
it.
Man, I don't. You know what I mean? I can't. But
it's not even him. I'm talking about joke thieves in general.
There is a West Coast, East Coast comedy thing going on, too.
There's no joke thieves on the East Coast, right?
No, I'm just saying that,
cool.
I would trash a guy if the dude stole one of my jokes. I saw him do it. I definitely knew it. I've heard all this shit about Carlos, but, my whole career has been out here. I don't even get half it. I didn't know what a fucking beaner was. That's like when he's like, I know what you're thinking. They finally gave a beaner a show. And my girl looked over at me. She goes, what's a beaner? That's my only thing about him. He does his act like everybody grew up right outside of San Diego.
All right, we got 2 more clips here. They're short.
It's true.
You're right, actually, Frank. It was Joe Rogan to Dennis Leary, and Dennis Leary actually came out and called him out on it.
Yeah.
And Joe just cowered.
Why is Joe
hysterical?
You didn't cower.
By the way,
I was following that whole thing.
There's no cowering, dude. From Dennis Leary, was he gonna cough on me? What's gonna happen?
That's an easy one. You could just get all the CDs and see which one was done
there's
first.
No cowering. You know what, man? I
get Bill Hicks' Relentless, and then get Dennis Leary's first album, and you'll see.
And I'm aware of this. Yeah, and I'm aware of this really intimately because the producer of all of Bill's albums is Bill's best friend, Kevin Booth, who's a really good friend of mine. So I got straight information right from Kevin, who told me exactly what Bill was going through, how Bill was freaking out, how Bill and Dennis were friends in the clubs, and he couldn't fucking believe that Dennis was doing his shit, and Dennis is doing shit that he did on an album, and he's doing his No Cure for Cancer thing. He's like, this is insane. Like, how do I stop this?
Was it just accepted back then?
No, man. Just nobody did anything. Nobody stepped up and said, hey, fuck you. Nobody stepped up. Nobody stepped up.
No,
that's what it is.
Once you get to the point, if you're putting, asses in the seats, they don't care.
So it's up to you guys to kind of like police the thing.
Club owners don't give a fuck.
But what about you guys policing the thing, making it uncomfortable?
That's what I'm doing right
guys?
now. That's what I'm doing right now.
Take him to the octagon.
That's what we're doing right now.
Take him to the octagon, Joe.
We're making the phony Mexican uncomfortable right now, and I want everyone to know.
UFC rules. Come on.
But
kick some ass.
You need a lot more of the, your fellow comedians to step up.
Well, absolutely.
You guys got to police your own.
And you know what? He fucked up. Because if he wasn't talking shit about me, I wouldn't be talking about him right now. We would be talking about whatever.
Well, because we've gone after a bunch of radio shows recently, and their excuse was, everyone steals, so it's okay. And we're finally saying, no, it's not okay. It's just not okay.
It's not. And
I heard Chuck Liddell ripping you off. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna hide. Cover my body and curl up in the fetal position, hoping it's tired of punching me.
Animal. But if Gilbert Godfrey ripped you off, that would be no problem, right?
That would be a different story. Clearly.
Joe's a tough motherfucker, man.
Leary actually came out and called him out on it.
Yeah.
And Joe just cowered.
Yeah, why is Joe
true.
all of a sudden determined that he's the arbiter of comedy and he's going to put everybody in check? What's up with Joe?
Because I don't know, man. It's insecurities. It's like, look, when I go on stage, okay, this weekend, for example, I'm going on stage with 11 other comics. Okay. We're doing 12,000 seats in L.A., 20,000 seats in San Jose, California.
Right.
All right. So we're doing this huge venue. I'm telling you right now that from a competitive standpoint, I want to be the funniest guy on that stage. Just like I want to kick everybody's ass.
It's just like everybody in radio that does morning radio. They want to be the funniest show, the most popular show. Sure.
But at the end of the night, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're right.
Because it's all about putting the effort forth.
I think the force is with you, Carlos. Don't listen to that Joe Rogan.
Wow, that guy's really funny. The guy at the end there was really funny. I like that line.
Did.
Well, probably got a big laugh in Arizona.
So,
what?
Let's keep going with the clip because at the end of it,
this is the last clip.
Yeah.
You want to hear the greatest story? Here's the greatest story.
Go.
Here's the greatest run-up story to that.
All right.
Joe was on stage 2 Fridays ago, and then I went on after him.
Oh boy.
And he got off stage, and he was just like watching me. Pacing, and I could see him like look in the back of the room, and then I'd get a huge laugh, and he'd walk out, then he'd come back and get a huge laugh, then he'd walk out, and then I got off stage and I left. And the next day, I got a phone call from some of the comedians, and they're like, "Dude, we don't know if we fixed it, but we made him admit it." And then,
listen to how full of shit that sounds. I mean, if you're someone who knows how to read people when they're lying and making things up, just replay just that. We made him admit it. Listen to this.
All right, hold on. I gotta do a little something here.
But we made him admit it.
And then, what the fuck are you talking
You're a
about?
psychologist too.
They made him admit it. They made him admit it. What?
Admit.
Yeah. Well,
what?
He'll play it again.
Oh, I will.
No, I mean he'll say it again. He'll say what it is.
They're like, "Dude, we don't know if we fixed it, but we made him admit it." And then
made him admit what?
So here's what they did. They he was talking smack about me, and they said, "Dude, you can say whatever you want about him, but you know what? He doesn't steal people's material. He's great." And you know what? He kills. And you have to admit that. You can say you hate him, you say you don't like him, but you have to admit that he kills. And he was like, "I will not admit that." And they're like, "You have to, dude. You have to admit that he kills." And they're like, we talked to him for an hour, and at the end of an hour, he finally said, "All right, I admit it."
All right.
He said, and they quote that he said, "Fine, he kills. I don't know how he does it. I can't explain it, but he kills." And then they all just walked away, and I was like, "Yes, I am the Punisher!" And then I whacked off. Now, the comedy gods shine upon thee.
That's why it gets a standing ovation.
Now, here's the beautiful thing.
Did you hear the whole, Anthony?
Yeah, the whole edited in her.
Yeah, the whole.
Every morning show has to have a hole that absolutely nothing.
But here's the beautiful thing about it. What he's describing,
yeah.
I actually have a cameraman that follows me around at the Comedy Store because a bunch of my buddies come to the Comedy Store, and a lot of times we're hanging out in the parking lot, some really funny shit happens. And we videotape it, and I edit it, and I put it on the internet.
Yeah.
Well, my camera guy was there for this night, and he videotaped Carlos watching me, okay, from the back of the room doing exactly what he claims I was doing, pacing around the room, watching me from a bunch of different angles, and then he also videotaped me afterwards going, "Dude, I just don't, he's talking about nothing. He's just saying nothing. He's a fucking idiot." Saying that for 1 minute. That's how I talked about him, for 1 minute. That's it. That was the whole thing. We got all of it on videotape. All of it. Including this audio, so we have his audio over the reality. And my camera guy edited it all together with a Mexican song. And it's beautiful.
And it's on JoeRogan.net?
Yeah, you can go watch it.
All right, let's go to George. George in Tennessee. George, what's up?
Wow.
Hey.
Hey, man.
We're hanging with Joe Rogan today. What do you got?
Oh, yeah. I'm only 18, but I mean, I've watched guys like Jerry Seinfeld and Bill Cosby, and it's like fucking crazy just to see Larry the Cable Guy go out there and sell millions of records or whatever in fucking 5 minutes, stealing everybody else's shit.
He does other people's shit? I've never heard that before. Have you ever heard that before about Larry the Cable Guy?
I'm an East Coast comic.
Oh, Jesus.
You guys are bringing up dudes like, you know...
You guys ever heard of that?
George the vacuum guy, huh?
I've
heard this Beaner guy? No, I haven't heard of these fucking guys. I'm sorry.
To be fair, I mean, we had Larry the Cable Guy on. He killed for us, and I didn't recognize any of that material.
I saw Larry live in Montreal. That was the only time I saw him. It was like 6 or 7 years ago or something like that. And I saw original material, and I thought he was pretty funny, and he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, I don't know those fucking Southern guys.
I like what did you...
He's gone.
He's gone?
All right, let me set the scene. Joe Rogan sitting in with us today. Is there anything you want to accomplish?
I think I already got it out.
We should do something really fucked up today, though.
Yeah. Anything you want, man.
We'll try to figure something out.
Okay.
We got a few more hours with Joe Rogan. He's on his third Red Bull. He's finished
Zero sleep.
And the pot
lollipop.
Can you smoke the stick when you're done? That would be cool, right?
That would be the ultimate.
Light it up.
This just in. Carlos Mencia has been booked on the Opie and Anthony show next week.
Yikes.
Yikes. Is that true, Ben? Why don't you tell Joe Rogan to his face that you just booked the enemy?
No, that's not the Don't do that, man.
Listen, dude, it's going to be beautiful.
I'm just putting him in.
I don't even have to be in
Joe's going to choke Ben out next break.
Listen, I've done my work, and let him come in here, and his pale words will fall out his mouth like dry bricks and just crumple.
This is kind of like a Tupac Biggie thing.
Yeah.
But you're both you guys are West Coast, though.
You know, it's nothing like that. This is a joke thief and a comedian.
We got to get you a nickname, though, now.
Really?
Yeah,
the Punisher versus...
The Punisher! Fuck! White people!
Wow.
All right, let's try to get a name for Joe. All right. I don't even know what to do next because that was amazing on radio. We just got to regroup a little bit.
You know what, man? It's been coming a long time, and this stupid fuck, it didn't even have to happen. It wouldn't have happened if he didn't talk about me on this radio show. If he didn't talk about me on that Tucson radio show, which he probably thought I would never hear. You know, he didn't talk about me on Opie and Anthony. He talked about me on something he thought I would never hear in fucking Tucson. And that guy, you know, thank God he had some balls, and he fucking emailed me that clip. You know, that was it. He started it. That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
He launched the first Scud missile, and I just dropped a fucking nuclear bomb on his head.
All right, well, you know.
Which is an easy target. It's rather large.
Fuck!
I'm sure you've realized by now.
I had to throw something in. I got nothing.
Lobbing
you guys
something
are just bringing
in there.
up these obscure. What about Larry the Cable Guy, huh, Bill? You ever hear that fishing story joke before?
Get her done.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck?
All right, we got a lot of
these guys. Or maybe a hero comes in and saves the day.
Or a hero,
the Punisher.
The Punisher.
Other comedians call me the Punisher.
Oh, God, you're one of them. No, you're the Punisher. God, don't shoot me.
Yeah, Joe Rogan went off on Carlos Mencia yesterday on our show.
Oh, my God, did he?
I guess there's a video of Joe Rogan going off on Carlos Mencia up on FoundryMusic.com and OpieandAnthony.com. Here's our dilemma. Carlos Mencia is booked for the show next week. The Punisher will be on our show next week.
The Punisher, well, I think some people in here are going to be punished, if I may say.